Pucky. Hey guys, this is Jake, and today I'm giving you guys my personal top 20 favorite Pokemon of all time. Keep in mind, guys, as of the day that I made this video, X and Y, the 6th gen games, they haven't come out yet, so I don't have any 6th generation Pokemon in this list. I wish I could include them, but I don't want to waste time like postponing this video. I just want to get this video out now, because I don't know, I really want to make this video. I think it's just gonna be a real fun time, and yeah. So here, let's set some ground rules before we start. First off, this is completely opinionated, and also these Pokemon are not in my list because of stats or whatever. They're not. It's not my like top 20 most powerful Pokemon or even my top 20 favorite Pokemon because they're powerful. This has nothing to do with how good they are in the game. This is how good looking they are, how cool they are, how, you know, like there's some nostalgia involved with some of them, probably with most of them. But yeah, mainly it's just the cooler, like the better design. Those are the ones that I chose for this list. So without further ado, let's get to number 20. Number 20, I have to pick Raichu because everyone knows Pikachu. Pikachu is like the most iconic Pokemon in the Pokemon franchise. The electric mouse Pokemon is a cool concept or whatever. Electric types are my favorite, and so I don't know, he's this cute little cool electric mouse Pokemon that has got this awesome electric lightning bolt tail or whatever. And he's Ash's, main companion in the TV show. So I felt I had to choose one of the Pikachu evolutions in his like evolution chain, just because he's just one of the most iconic Pokemon, and I have a lot of respect for him. But I didn't pick Pikachu because most people like him, and I chose the kind of the weird guy, and that is Raichu. And I think for the most part he looks cooler than Pikachu. There are some parts about him, like the little curly things on his ears and stuff, looks too girly for me, and also sometimes his darker color looks more like poop and like mud or something like that than just a darker shade of yellow or like orange or whatever. But nevertheless, I still like Raichu more than Pikachu. He's just cooler to me for the most part. His tail is kind of not as cool as Pikachu's, I have to admit. But yeah, I just had to put Raichu in there because I like Raichu and I loved his moves. Whoa, Pucky, you didn't say you were talking about Pokemon stats. I'm just saying I like the moves, how they looked, and like how they sounded. Like Thunderbolt, Lightning Strike, those sounded and looked so cool when you were watching like the animations in the game and you were watching the TV show, and like Raichu's using all these things. He's like, and like this giant ball of thunder comes out of his mouth or whatever. It looks awesome. So yeah, Raichu's number 20. 19. Number 19 is a Pokemon I have a lot of respect for, and that's Victory Bell. I chose Victory Bell because you look at Bellsprout and it's kind of a failure. Like, he's this wimpy little sapling of a plant, and he looks stupid, he looks wimpy, he doesn't really look cute, and he obviously doesn't look like menacing or like a beastly or anything. So he's just kind of a failure. He's like that kid or whatever that always got neglected on the playground as a kid. So just the fact that Bellsprout is just not as cool as Victory Bell. Like each evolution I felt got like better and better. Weeping Bell looked cooler than Bellsprout, and then Victory Bell, all of a sudden Weeping Bell evolves into Victory Bell. Victory Bell, I have so much respect for him because kind of like I'm saying, he looks so much better than Bellsprout. I mean, what an improvement. He looks so much cooler and stuff. And then also I have a lot of respect for Victory Bell because he's a plant, and any Pokemon that like looks cool and looks cooler than what it's based off of in the real world, like this little carnivorous plant thing, it looks so much cooler than like any other carnivorous plant you see in real life. Game Freak did a really good job with Victor Bell. Number 18. That has to be Onyx, my man Onyx. I love Onyx for several reasons. One, I think that most people would choose Steelix over Onyx just because, for the most part, he visually looks cooler. Just Steelix, there's some parts on his body, they have those little spikes that come out of the side of him. It makes him look cooler and stuff. And the fact that he's made out of steel, not rock, is cooler. But I think his face looks stupid, his giant jaw that he has, and his red eyes look kind of dumb to me. So I have to go with Onyx just because he looks cooler to me in the face mainly, but also nostalgia. I watched the TV show, and Brock, I'm pretty sure it was Brock, he had this Onyx that was just never said a word, but he packed such a punch. He was so cool looking every time he just tackled all the other Pokemon down and just crushed them. And just I don't know, a lot of people say they might argue, well, he's kind of dumb because he's I don't know, just a bunch of rocks put together to look like a snake. But I don't care. To me, he looks cool. And I gotta show some love to Onyx. Number 17. Number 17 has to be Muck. Whoa, and before you start putting a bunch of hate comments into the comment box below, I need to explain myself, guys, because Muck is one of these Pokemon that I had to add into this list because no one likes it. I have yet to meet a single person that if I were to ask, what's your, top, whatever, 50, 30, 20, 10, top 5 Pokemon, Muck isn't going to be in there. No one likes Muck, and it's because of his design concept, and, everyone's well, he's a pile of sludge. He's stupid. It's look at what Game Freak did with the fact that he looks so cool. Being just a pile of sludge, he looks awesome. You look at his face, he's got those awesome triangular eyes that they have on some Pokemon, just like Onyx. That same reason I like Onyx. Those eyes, I don't know what it is. They're triangular, and then they've got they're white and then little beady black eyes. To me, they look so cool. Those types of eyes look really cool, and then his mouth looks really awesome. The fact that he's just this giant, gnarly, ball of sludge or whatever that comes up from the sewage. I don't know. I just thought it was cool as a kid too, because I don't know, maybe it was just because I was a boy and I liked all that quote unquote gross stuff, what the girls are ew, you're picking your booger, and I'm I'm 9, woman, I can pick my boogers if I want because I'm a boy. But yeah, I don't know, maybe that's why I like Muck, just because as a kid I thought he was cool because he was sludge. But I think he looks cool, and I think he's one of the most underrated Pokemon when it comes to designs. Everyone hates him, everyone says he shouldn't have even been in the game. I think he's awesome. Grimer, on the other hand, I can agree with everyone else. I think he doesn't even visually look cool, he just looks like an idiot. On top of the fact that he's just a pile of sludge. But yeah, Muck, number 17, I have to put him in there. He's awesome. Number 16. This, guys, I don't even know if I really didn't even want to put him in here because he is, but I had to because he is my first starter that I've ever had, and that is Swampert. When I was a kid, the first game that I ever got was Pokemon Emerald, and I chose Mudkip over Torchic and Trico because I thought Mudkip was cuter and I don't know, kind of cooler looking than Torchic. He didn't really look cooler than Trico, I guess, but I don't know, I liked him more. So I picked Mudkip, he evolved into Marshtomp. Marshtomp looked cooler, and he evolved into Swampert. I'm oh wow, yeah, dude, I've got this giant tank on my team. I don't know, it's mainly nostalgia with this Pokemon. I really see some flaws with Swampert's design. He looks kind of dumb, in some parts of his body, but and how they draw him, his stance, how he's like on all fours or whatever most of the time. I don't know, he looks kind of stupid, but you know, at the same time I still think he looks really cool. And you know, he's this mud fish swamp Pokemon thing, the very first Pokemon that I ever got in my history of playing Pokemon games. So yeah, I had to put him in. Yeah. Okay, what's up next? Number 15. Number 15 has to be Marowak for me, and the reason why I chose Marowak over Cubone was because, yet again, I feel like he doesn't get any respect. To me, he looks cooler than Cubone, but yet, like, most people would think of, kind of, like, understand, know about Cubone more than people know about Marowak, and I think Marowak does look like he is a good improvement over Cubone, except for the skull on his head. I think Cubone does have a cooler looking skull on his head, but other than that, Marowak is cooler looking. So that's number 15. Number 14 is Groudon, and I didn't mention this, but yeah, I am adding legendaries in here. Just deal with it. I promise you, number 1 or even the top 3 or 4, I think, aren't legendaries, so don't worry, it's not going to be a legendary for number 1. But yeah, Groudon is cool. Yet again, like I said, being 3rd generation, I loved when I was a kid playing, and I was like, whoa. I caught Rayquaza, I'm like, this is the coolest thing ever. And then, you know, I'm like, oh yeah, the other 2 legendaries, I can catch those guys too. And I thought Groudon was awesome looking too myself. I love fire type. Those are they're one of my favorite like type Pokemon. And so the fact that he was like this ground fire type beast, this giant towering like skyscraper of like a tank, he's amazing Pokemon. He looks really cool. A lot of people's favorites out of those the 3rd gen legendary trio, I think, will choose Groudon. But yeah, he's just not that high up there because I think too many people show him love. He's kind of overrated, I think. He is amazing looking. He looks really cool. All the spikes on him, how he's like metallic. There's some parts of him that makes him look awkward. I don't know if it's because he looks kind of fat or something, but I don't know. I love Groudon. He's really cool looking. So that's that. And then also I think he looks way cooler than Kyogre. Kyogre's concept, the fact that he's this big, blubbery, fat, awkward, helpless whale. I'm probably gonna hate it, probably gonna hate it. Sorry, but I'm probably gonna make a lot of people who are fans of Sapphire mad. But I mean, honestly, look at Groudon Rayquaza. You're gonna choose Kyogre over Groudon Rayquaza. Yes, Kyogre does look cool. Game Freak did do a good job of making a whale Pokemon look cool with that like almost Aztec weird design on all 3 of them. The design, the like red lines on him look really good. But his tail kind of ticks me off. I don't know why. It's kind of girly looking. So I don't know. I don't like Kyogre. Every time I look at a picture of him, if he's not depicted in water and he's like out of the water, it's just a picture of Kyogre, it ticks me off because it's like he's a whale. He's supposed to be in the water, and it's weird seeing him. He looks awkward, like being out of water. So I had to choose Groudon over Kyogre. Number 13. That has to be Sandslash. I think he's one of these underrated Pokemon. I don't really think that many people have him in their list of their Pokemon favorites, and I love Sandslash. I think he looks really cool. Sandshrew, he was this cute, cool little dude, and he just got better from like once he evolved. He got so much cooler. Going from like having nothing on his back to these like spiky scales on his back or whatever for protection or whatever. He looks really cool with all those spikes on his back. And then Sandslash, how he has these giant claws or whatever where he can just shred through any Pokemon. Give him anything, he'll be able to cut it up with his giant claws for slashing. He looks so cool. So yeah, I love Sandslash. Number 12. yet again, another overlooked Pokemon, I think, in my eyes, is Beedrill. I like Beedrill a lot because as a kid, I was like, wow, they did a really good job. Like, he's just a bee. Like, when you think of bees, they're not really cool or like fascinating or whatever in the real world. And then, but like Game Freak took like the concept, like what a bee looks like, and they made him so much cooler by giving him those giant drills for hands and those big red eyes or whatever. So yeah, I love Beedrill. Number 11, another 3rd gen legendary, believe it or not. Nostalgia, man, nostalgia. But yeah, as a kid, I loved the Reggie legendaries. Reggie Gigas or whatever his name is wasn't out yet because it was 4th gen, so I didn't really have much of a nostalgia. But I thought the Reggie Rock, Reggie Steel, Reggie Ice were so cool looking, and for some reason I chose Reggie Ice over Reggie Rock and Reggie Steel. Can't quite explain it. And now that I think of it about it, like now that I'm older, he doesn't look that cool. But nevertheless, the concept of the Reggie legendaries, they're really cool to me. How they're like these natural elements on Earth, but yet they're kind of like almost like a robot, I guess you could. I don't really know I forgot what the term was for them, but I just thought Reggie Ices were really cool, and I wanted them, in the game when I was playing as a kid. So I had to put Reggie Ice in there. Number 10 is Rhyhorn, and I chose Rhyhorn because I really think he's one of my favorite Pokemon, just in terms of like when you just first look at a Pokemon and you just think of like on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being really cool and 1 being like lame, kind of wimpy. Rhyhorn is a 10. Rhyhorn looks so cool. They took being a kid, rhinoceroses, for whatever reason, were my favorite Pokemon. So the fact that there was a rhinoceros Pokemon, rhinoceros were my favorite real-life animal, not Pokemon. But yeah, the fact that they made a rhinoceros Pokemon was so cool to me. The design, all like the little jagged protrusions coming off of his body, and like how it's like this like almost metal looking, but I guess obviously it's supposed to be rock, like armor all around him. He's so cool. He's got like that awesome horn or whatever. He can take anything on. And he's got those cool looking eyes that I think I was talking about. I actually don't even know, but yeah, I love those eyes with the like how they draw with the it's like a triangle and then it's white with that little beady black pupil. I think makes a Pokemon look really awesome. I love Rhyhorn, and I think Rhydon and Rhyperior, I think those are like the other evolutions. I think they look stupid. I think they took an awesome Pokemon, and then each evolution it got dumber and dumber. It's not a word, but yeah, it got dumber and dumber. What, Rhydon, you're dumb. Rhyperior, you're even dumber. But yeah, I'm serious. I really hate those two Pokemon. Rhydon, I think, is the one with the unicorn horn. It looks so dumb to me. I hate Rhydon because of its horn, whatever. I think it looks stupid. And then Rhyperior had all those weird, awkward orange, like ugly orange pieces of plates of armor on him, and he like had this derpy like smirk on his face all the time in all the drawings of him and stuff. I like Rhyhorn so much better than his evolutions. So yeah, that's that. Oh man, we are 20 minutes in. That's messed up. All right, well we are halfway done, I guess. So I guess this is gonna be like 40 minutes long. I really feel bad, but yeah, I think that's what it's gonna be. Number 9, Quilava. I love Quilava because I think that his pre-evolution Cyndaquil and then his evolution Typhlosion, I think the way that they put the flames just don't look as cool as Quilava. I think they did a better job with where they arranged the flames coming off the back. I think it looks better on Quilava than Typhlosion and Cyndaquil. Cyndaquil's cute, yeah, whatever. His face is kind of weird. Typhlosion, I think, is so much cooler than Cyndaquil, but the reason why I didn't choose him, like I said, is because of the way they put the flames on his back. Instead of like, it looks like a lion's mane, I guess, kind of like it's coming like out of right behind his head, like on the back of his neck. It looks so stupid to me. I really don't know how to justify it, explain it. A lot of people probably are just like don't even understand why I say that, but yeah, I hate Typhlosion. How they put the flames on his the back of his neck like that. I think Typhlosion looks so cool when he doesn't have the flames coming out and he's like calm or whatever. Like sometimes in the TV show it showed him and he didn't have the flames on his back. I thought he looked so much cooler than Quilava. But I had to choose Quilava just because out of the three, I think they did a better job with the design when it comes to the flames. So yeah. Number 8 has to be Blastoise. When you think of those three original three original starter Pokemon, you know, most people are gonna choose like that Charmander, Charmeleon, and Charizard thing, but I freaking love Squirtle. I thought he looked really cool and funny. He's just a funny looking guy to me, and the fact that he evolved into Wartortle, and he's one of my least favorite Pokemon. Wartortle sucks. I absolutely hate Wartortle. He looks stupid. The weird fluffy curly like tail and like the elf ears and stuff. I absolutely hate Wartortle. So the fact that he went from Wartortle to Blastoise, so awesome. Blastoise is cool. He's this big fat blue beast of a turtle thing that's got two giant cannons that shoot water like nothing else. I love Blastoise, and yeah, I saw Mega Evolution, like pictures of the Mega Evolution and video of it, of Blastoise, and thinks he looks awesome. Like that's out of Mega Charizard, Mega Blastoise, and Mega Venusaur. I think not Venusaur. Yeah, Venusaur. Yeah. Out of those three, I think Blastoise got the best improvement when it comes to Mega. The fact that he's got this big, giant, enormous cannon on his back now instead of the two smaller ones. And then he's got two ones like on his wrists, on his arms or whatever. And then like how they changed his head, that little like bony thing on the top of his head. I don't know. He looks really cool. I love Blastoise. He's just always I've always thought of him as one of my favorite Pokemon just because he's just cool looking. I don't know. But yeah. Number 7 has to be Agron. I love Agron, and I love the whole evolution chart. Unlike most Pokemon where I hate like most like the other two or whatever evolutions, but I might like the last one, I love every single one. I love Aeron as a third gener. When I was playing Emerald, going through all the caves, and I saw this like an Agron, I was like, oh, he's cute, but yeah, he's like a beast, like a cool looking Pokemon at the same time. Steel type is one of my favorites. The fact that he was just like this awesome little almost dinosaur like steel Pokemon thing, I was like, this guy's awesome. And then he evolved into Lairon, even cooler looking, and then boom, you know, you work with them, you level them up, you put the time in, and then he evolves into this giant, staggering, like, huge metallic beast thing with horns and, like, this awesome mouth with teeth and these awesome eyes. And the fact that he's not on all fours anymore and he's, like, on just his hind legs, I don't know. I love Agron. I always have, I always will. Agron is one of my favorites. Number 6 is Mewtwo, and I love Mewtwo because the very first Pokemon movie, I'm pretty sure this is the very first one, is Mewtwo Strikes Back, and I love how they, the story of that, how they made like Mewtwo was like a genetic clone of Mew, and how mysterious and cool and ancient Mew was. They made him even cooler by like taking his DNA and making this cooler, now purple, like awesome, you know, very smart, powerful Pokemon. And the fact I have respect for Mewtwo because I don't really like. I'm not a cat person. I don't really like cats. I like dogs more. Even though we have a cat and our cat is pretty cool. But yeah, I'm not really a cat person. The fact that that cat stereotype is so big and so many people like cats and like all the you put a video of a cat up on YouTube and it's gonna get a million views. It just something about it just ticks me off. It like makes me cringe. So the fact that Game Freak took a cat, at least I'm pretty sure, like the main concept of Mewtwo and Mew is a cat. But yeah, they made a cat look so cool, and he really doesn't look that much like a cat. I think they did an amazing job with Mewtwo. He looks awesome. He's a psychic, very powerful purple dude. I love Mewtwo. Number 5 is got to be Rayquaza, one of my favorite Pokemon, and I had to include him because he was my very first legendary, and he was the mascot of my very first Pokemon game, if you would like to call it that. He was like the one on Emerald on the cover art, the box art, or whatever. And when I first got that game as a present, when I was a kid, I was like, whoa, that green dragon thing is so cool looking. I have to capture him at some point in the game. And Rayquaza is awesome. He's one of the Pokemon where I really had to agree with most people. Like, he probably is out of that 3rd gen legendary trio, he probably gets the most love, where Groudon probably is 2nd place and Kyogre's in 3rd place. But yeah, I love Rayquaza. He's so cool. He's green. That's my favorite color for whatever reason. I've just always stuck with it my whole life. Green. He's a really cool looking color, green too. And then he's got these awesome, almost neon, like electric Aztec, like pattern stripes going all along his body. So awesome looking. His mouth, how they drew his mouth, how like boss he looks with his eyes, the protrusions out of his face or whatever, those big thingies, I don't even know what you'd call them, that come off of his face and off the sides of his body, like those little spikes or whatever, I guess, that come out of him. He looks so awesome. I love Rayquaza. A lot of it is nostalgia, but I think that honestly, even if like Emerald wasn't my first Pokemon game, I think he still would be in my list of top 20 because he's just so cool looking. I think they did such a great job with Rayquaza and his design. Number 4, Zapdos. I don't know why I put Zapdos over 4 now that I think about it, but I think it's because of respect. Yet again, I think it's a very underrated Pokemon. I think Zapdos, for the most part, looks awesome. I love how Zapdos looks. He's an electric bird. So he's able to fly, which is awesome. And he's able to, he's got the power of thunder and electricity under his belt. And the fact that he's got spikes all over his body, that's my favorite part about him. He looks so cool. Now, yeah, I have to admit, sometimes he doesn't look that awesome. He looks kind of dumb, to be honest, in some photos of him, because he kind of reminds me of a duck, almost. Yeah, Moltres really actually is supposed to be a duck. I don't really know exactly what Zapdos is supposed to be, but he reminds me of a duck. He kind of looks kind of derpy, kind of dumb sometimes, but most of the time, Zapdos is awesome. There was this one card from my childhood that just got me riled up. Every time I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, I gotta make sure I don't lose this card because this Zapdos is so awesome looking. So yeah, Zapdos is number 4. Number 3! Number 3 is Charmeleon. And yeah, I chose Charmeleon over Charmander and Charizard. What of it? Everyone stinking likes Charizard, and I love Charizard too. Don't get me wrong, I love Charizard. Charizard is so cool, and Charmander is cool looking and cute at the same time. So I love that whole evolution chain. But I have to choose Charmeleon because he's the most overlooked Pokemon out of the 3. Not that many a lot of people don't even know that he exists. Like, if you like ask a person like, oh, what's your favorite Pokemon, and they really didn't play the games or watch the TV show or trade cards with their friends on the bus or whatever as a kid, they probably don't know who Charmeleon is. They probably might know Charmander, and they'll probably know Charizard, but they don't know Charmeleon, and I think he looks really cool. Sometimes I think they draw the color of his body a little bit too dark, too red, like too dark red. I think it should be like a lighter red. And I also think it's kind of cool how weird he is, because Charmander is orange and Charizard is orange, but then yet like in between those evolutions, like for whatever reason he's red. And then I don't know, he reminds me of a volcano. He's like he's cool looking. I think he's just really cool. And how they draw him in almost every picture, he's got this smirk on his face like, heck yeah, I'm better than you. I don't know, he looks like he can take down a crap ton of Pokemon. He's really cool looking. And the awkward bulge on the top of his head, I actually like a lot. I don't even know why, but yeah, love Charmeleon. Number 2, Scyther. I love Scyther. Oh my goodness, Scyther is such a beast. Yet again, respect. I have so much respect for Scyther, because my whole life I always thought, oh, he's a bug Pokemon. Oh, bug Pokemon. Oh, those guys are lame. You know, bugs in the real world, they're lame, kind of dumb looking, not that cool. Oh my gosh, they did such a good job with the design of Scyther. And this is, I can agree with, I actually have seen a lot of Scythers in other people's list of top 10 or top 20 or whatever, and I'm happy for that, because I think a lot of people other than me understand they did an amazing job of taking a bug and making him look cool. Like, he's really high, like I think he stands almost like 4 or 5 feet tall, which if you think about it, if Scyther was real, like he'd be like scary, like you don't want to mess with him. So that's cool. But my favorite part about Scyther is, other than the fact that he's like green, this cool green with all these like kind of plates, like segmented parts of his body, and he's got this cool face and like the jagged spikes on the top of his head or whatever. My favorite part is obviously the scythes that he has for arms, the blades or whatever. So stinking awesome. He's so cool to me. The fact that he can just his main defense is just waving, like moving it, being able to move his arm, and then he's able to slice through anything. I love Scyther. I love him so much. And then drum roll, please. Bum 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 bum. Number 1. What's in first place, you ask? This is gonna make a lot of people mad, but oh crap. Oh, I forgot to tell you before I announce the first place. I gotta tell you another reason why I like Scyther is because I really don't like Scizor, however you say his next evolution form or whatever, the evolved form of Scyther. I think they went a little bit downhill. Don't get me wrong, a lot of people like Scizor way more than Scyther, and they think it's a big improvement. But I mean, really, like, does that look like a bug to you at all? Like, he went from this green kind of almost praying mantis looking type of thing, so it made sense that he was a bug, to like this he looks like a lobster. Because, and what ticks me off about Scizor or whatever his name is that they got rid of his blades for arms, and now they're like these pincher things. And the fact that he's red and shiny and glossy or whatever, he looks way too much like a crab to be a bug Pokemon, and I don't understand what they did, or like why they did that to him. So yeah, I love Scyther even more than I would have if they didn't make Scizor, because I love hating on Scizor and saying that Scyther is cooler. So yeah, sorry about forgetting about that, but I needed to add that in. Number 1, don't hate my my favorite Pokemon of all time. It's Hitmonlee. Yeah, that fighting guy that looks kind of reminds you of Tasmanian Devil, or like this. He kind of he pretty much looks um, like a buff man or whatever, but without a head. Like his main body is the stomach, like the abdomen and stuff of like some guy. I don't care what you say. I love Hitmonlee. I don't even know why. He's so cool looking to me. Like the fact that he has, like I think it's his eyes. Like mainly, there's something about how they drew his eyes. Looks so cool to me. Most of the pictures, how he's got like those giant long legs kicking out or whatever. I don't know. Maybe it's just because as a kid I thought it was cool. Maybe because it like symbolized like a bunch of power and brutal force. How he could just kick. I don't know if it's because he said like Hitmonlee, like funny or something, or if I liked him in the anime for whatever reason. He's my favorite. I don't really know why. You know, I can't tell you like, oh, he's the coolest Pokemon design ever, or anything. I don't know why. I just love Hitmonlee. So after saying that, it's been almost 36 minutes. So if you've stuck around, I thank you, because you know that was awesome. Thank you for sticking around, listening to my opinion. Please, if you don't agree with me, or if you want to say your own favorite Pokemon, you know, maybe only your top 3 or something like that, please put in the comments below. I want to see your input. I love seeing what other people's favorites are. For whatever reason, it's really fun to me. That's my favorite part about Pokemon, is hearing what other people's favorites are. That's why I made this video. So yeah, hopefully in the future I'm gonna make some more top 10s and stuff like that, and top 5s, and they will not be as long, I promise you, as this. So please stay tuned for that. But thank you for watching. Peace out.